and thanks for joining me, your sport pilot James Claude, on another exciting episode of Sport Vibe on DNT Work. We'll bring you exciting and latest sport happenings across the world of sport every Tuesday, as is our tradition to do so this week. Won't be an exception, so I would implore you to please stay tuned because we'll be right back shortly after this break. Welcome back. It's a beautiful Tuesday starting from the world of tennis in the just concluded US Open, where we witnessed the modern rivals taking on each other in the finals of that competition. Alcaraz was able to defeat Jannik Sinner in the finals of the US Open and reclaiming the world #1 spot from Jannik Sinner. It was an interesting competition where we saw Alcaraz proceeding to the finals of that particular competition by defeating Novak Djokovic. In fact, he made it to the finals of the US Open without losing any set and set up the final against Jannik Sinner, the world #1. But in that one, it was an intense battle between Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz, where Alcaraz shows dominance against Jannik Sinner to be able to win the US Open for the second time and winning the second Grand Slam title in the year 2025. But for the record purpose, in the finals of the US Open, Jannik Sinner was able to win a set, and this means that Carlos Alcaraz couldn't complete the US Open undefeated, unable to win all the sets that he had played in the US Open. He was able to lose one, at least against his arch rival Jannik Sinner in the US Open. And like I said before, he has been able to reclaim his spot in the #1 spot at the ATP ranking. An interesting one for Carlos Alcaraz in the world of tennis. And talking about Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, talking about the rivalry between these two, they have been able to win 8 Grand Slam titles between themselves in the world of tennis. He has been able to also win the US Open after winning it in the year 2022. Now in the year 2025, claiming that award yet again. And in the world of tennis, we talk about Aryna Sabalenka, who was also able to win the women's category of the tennis in the United States Open. She was able to continue with the fate of Serena Williams, who was also able to do it back-to-back. She was able to do it back-to-back in the year 2024 and in the year 2025 in the world of tennis. The US Open has come to an end, but it didn't leave us with a lot of drama and so many things to look out for in the future between Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz as their rivalry continues in the world of tennis. And quickly, let's switch down to the world of Formula 1, a weekend where we witnessed another outstanding performance from Max Verstappen, who started the Italian Grand Prix on pole and was able to eventually win the maximum prize in the Italian Grand Prix, making history at the Italian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen finished that race and it becomes the fastest race in the world of Formula 1 with 1 hour 13 minutes and 24 seconds. Max Verstappen was able to win the Italian Grand Prix, an interesting one for him in that particular competition. It looks as though he has mastered the Italian Grand Prix, starting from the pole position and going ahead to win the Italian Grand Prix. Remember, at the Dutch Grand Prix, where he came second, he was able to build up that momentum to be able to win the Italian Grand Prix. An interesting one for the McLaren's driver, who continues to maintain their form at the Italian Grand Prix, though they were able to win the maximum prize at the Italian Grand Prix. They were able to finish podium respectively, where we see Lando Norris finishing second and Oscar Piastri finishing third at the Italian Grand Prix. And the driver of the day award could go to nobody else than Max Verstappen, the man that has won 3 races already out of the available 16. With just 8 races left in the world of Formula 1, will be crowned the champions at the end of the competition. You know that the McLarens are topping the driver's standing, and just after finishing third, we know that Oscar Piastri remains at the top of the driver's standing as Max Verstappen looks to close the gap between himself and Lando Norris. I think the Red Bull should find a perfect partner for Max Verstappen if they'll be competing next season for the Constructors' Championship, as Max Verstappen has done everything it takes to put the Red Bull up there where they talk about the top 5 in the Constructors' Championship. We know that the Ferrari are following the McLaren closely at the Constructors' Championship. And quickly, let's switch down to football, as we all know that the national football are on, and we have been seeing so many countries taking on each other at the World Cup qualifiers. And talking about Nigeria, were able to defeat Rwanda in a narrow win, 1-0. Will they be qualifying for the World Cup? That is the big question that will be asking the Nigerians right now. And the Super Eagles being able to defeat Rwanda over the weekend, will they be able to proceed to win South Africa in a match that they will be missing their talisman in the person of Victor Osimhen, will be missing against South Africa? Will Nigeria be able to qualify for the 2026 World Cup? You remember that they were unable to participate in the year 2022, and would this be the second consecutive time that they won't be participating in the World Cup? It's going to be an interesting challenge for them going to play South Africa, and will they be able to win? South Africa will be playing on their home soil. These are the things that we'll be seeing this evening in the world of football. But quickly, let's go on a very short break, and when we're right back, we'll continue from where we stop.
JK Royal Signatures, a blend of African fabric.
Welcome back, and talking about the World Cup 2026, we can confirm to you that Morocco remains the only African team to have qualified yet for the 2026 World Cup. You remember that Morocco were able to go far in the World Cup 2022, where they were able to make it to the semi-finals of that particular competition. Will they be able to reciprocate that same fate in the World Cup 2026, as they have already booked their spot at the World Cup 2026, where we saw teams like Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay booking their spot at the 2026 World Cup? We can also confirm to you that Colombia are back for the first time since the year 2018 at the World Cup. We could see that James was able to make the difference for the Colombian team over the weekend in their qualifying games, and this means that they will be participating in the 2026 World Cup. So many teams are yet to book their spot the 2026 World Cup, but we know that Brazil, who has played the most World Cup, will be set to participate again after getting their 3rd consecutive win under Carlo Ancelotti. An interesting one for Brazilian team. And also talking about another international game that took place over the weekend, where we saw Memphis Depay being able to become the top scorer of Netherlands, scoring Van Persie as the national team top scorer. We talk about Netherlands team against Lithuania. He was able to score a brace in that particular match, which takes him ahead of Van Persie. Remember that Van Persie has 50 goals, and before the match against Lithuania, Memphis Depay was having 49 points, but after the brace he scored, that means he is the highest goal scorer for the Netherlands national team with 50 goals ahead of Van Persie, who has scored 50. You can take nothing away from Memphis Depay, who has a World Cup yet again to extend his tally in the world of football ahead of Van Persie for the Netherlands national team. But another interesting one again in the world of football over the weekend is seeing Cristiano Ronaldo being able to score a wonderful shot from outside the box 18 over the weekend for Portugal to be able to take his tally to 141 goals already for the Portuguese national team. This man continues to score goals after goals as he's looking to score 1,000 goals in his career before calling it an end to his career. Cristiano Ronaldo will be participating in the World Cup 2026 for sure, as we also know that Lionel Messi has confirmed that the World Cup 2026 could probably be his last game for the Argentine team in the world of football. And yet another one in the world of football is talking about Spain, who were able to show dominance against Turkey. They were able to defeat Turkey 6-0 over the weekend, where we saw Merino scoring a trick for the Spanish side as they were able to show their dominance against the Turkish side in the world of football. And this is the length at which we'll be going on this week's episode of Sport Vibe on TNT Work. For more news and sports stories, follow us across our various social media handles at Sport Vibe on TNT Work. Enjoy your week, remain blessed, and remain a law-abiding citizen. Thank you.